like the main event, Matías Garcia is an example of the best fighting the best. These two have emerged as the best junior welterweights on the scene. And it's a fight between two offensive-minded fighters. So I think everybody who's getting this card and is going to be watching, this is the fight that everyone is anticipating as the fight of the night. Garcia has been on a hot streak, going into fights that are either 50-50 or he's been an underdog, and he's gone on to win. He was 50-50 against Morales the first time, against Kendall Holt. He beat them. He was a big, or at least a significant underdog against Amir Khan. He knocked him out. He went in there against Zab Judah. Everyone was expecting him to win, which he did. And a win over Zab Judah is respectable in anybody's book. So he has proven himself as a legitimate top guy in that division, just like Matías has, even in the two fights that he lost. He lost to Devin Alexander, which most people think that he won. He lost to Zab Judah, and in both cases, he knocked down his opponent. He knocked out Michael Dallas in the first round, which opened some eyes. And to kind of put an exclamation mark on everything, he stopped Lamont Peterson in the third round. And that was a kind of a fight in which to say everything that you suspected about me is true. I am the monster puncher of boxing. So we've got two dangerous fighters who are going to be going up against each other. And I think the game plan for either guy is fairly obvious. Matías, put some pressure on him, wear him out, and find a way to put your hands on him, because every time Lucas Matías hits someone, they fall apart. He throws these very almost casual workmanlike punches. They don't look sensational, but everyone he hits just seems to crumble every time he touches them. And so, I mean, he doesn't have a whole, he's not a slick boxer. His best assets are his hands. So he needs to find a way to put his hands on Danny Garcia, and if he does, he's going to have a lot of success. Garcia is going to have to show us something different in this fight than what he's shown us in the past. Garcia always, even though he's a smart fighter, he stands in front of his opposition and often takes shots because he can, because it's a trade-off, because he's able to get his own in. But in this fight, he's going to have to box. He's going to have to stay outside, move his head, and keep his hands up. Those are the keys to victory for Garcia to be the boxer and Matías to be the slugger, which he has to be. When I first heard this fight was made, I did not see any conceivable way Danny Garcia could win. He's been doing the same thing for a while in the sense that he puts himself in harm's way. And it's hard to take a fighter this short notice, pull him aside and say, you can't do that anymore. We've got 6 weeks. You've got to box. You can't make any mistakes. So I did not see a way for him to be able to switch gears, but the fight that changed my mind was Carl Froch, Arthur Abraham. It's almost a similar matchup in the sense you got Carl Froch, who's this tough, rugged guy who has a good chin, but maybe not a good enough chin to stand up to a pure puncher like Arthur Abraham. But what happens is Carl Froch goes in there and he completely outboxes Arthur Abraham and fools us. So it's something that can be done. Is Danny Garcia the guy to do it? If Garcia is able to go in there, totally change up, turn into a boxer for a night, he's going to go from being a kid who is very talented, one of the top guys in his division who's on a winning streak, to one of the best fighters in the world, if he's able to do that. If Matías wins, it's going to do the same thing. These guys are pretty much in the same place in that they're on the cusp. They're the best in their division, and whoever wins this fight is going to be considered one of the best in the world. It's actually a tough pick. The obvious choice is Matías because of how sensational he's been. Garcia always finds a way to win, and that's why you can't be dismissive of this matchup. But that being said, I have to go with Matías to stop him in 7 or 8 rounds because of the simple fact that Garcia just takes a beating in every fight. I felt early on, while watching Danny Garcia, while giving him a lot of credit for winning fights, that he takes too many shots, and a career like that isn't going to go too far. For every monster puncher, like a Matisse, there's a slick technician on the horizon who can beat him. I don't think that Danny Garcia is that guy. Although I think he's very good, I think this is the wrong style for him. And I think that his courage and his willingness to mix it up, as he's shown in the past, is going to be his detriment in this fight. I think it's going to be an exciting fight, but as soon as Garcia feels that he's threatened, he's going to revert to his old ways. And I think that we're going to see Lucas Matisse in a stoppage win around 7 or 8.